On September the 22nd, 2023, one stream made on that day ruined one Roblox YouTuber's career and credibility forever. The Roblox YouTuber Gwamgo is known for creating exposed videos attempting to call out bad actors in the Roblox community. However, recently his lies have been breaking away, such as his slander campaign against the Roblox YouTuber Sydiced, in where he claimed Sydiced was a P3-ophile who sent AICP, defaming him countless times, only to then admit in private that he had no idea about the AICP situation in actuality, and then claimed it could have all been faked, with him having no message logs to back up his statements whatsoever, despite claiming he was a P3-ophile in a video with over 1 million views. Well, today we will go over Gwamgo's handling of the MiniBloxia allegations and the drama as a whole, and the subsequent stream in which permanently damaged his career. MiniBloxia is a controversial YouTuber who mainly creates Roblox Bed Wars content, and this was someone who me and Gwamgo had specifically had drama with for an extended period of time. But what many people have been unaware of, including me for the longest period of time, was that Gwamgo had engaged in a plethora of immoral and degenerate actions towards MiniBloxia himself too throughout his year-long drama with him. Gwamgo's such actions involve him promoting AI audios of MiniBloxia saying the hard R, while also invading his privacy with the AI stating MiniBloxia's location and full name, and he obviously shared this to spite MiniBloxia.
So I'll just pause it right before he gets to saying the personal information.
My name is Jeremiah Sanchez. I live at 1...
And then that's where he says his personal information.
All law enforcement entities, to all of my viewers, this is not an admission of guilt. I'm speaking to my family now. Gwamgo, you are the love of my life. I hope you know that. Pando, you're my big man. There are going to be some things that you'll come to learn about me in the next few days, one of them being that I said the word.
Other such instances include Gwamgo admitting to having found MiniBloxia's old address, and having posted MiniBloxia's full old address in people's DMs, such as Sydiced's back when they were both friends on January the 13th, 2023, also stating in response that it was MiniBloxia's old address, but that he currently also had his new information, including his IP, addresses, car plates, and everything else. However, drastically insists that he isn't the person that MiniBloxia thinks he is, and Gwamgo states that he wouldn't leak the information. However, that is extremely hard to believe, as for people he's known to despise, he has a long history of sharing their personal information. He had done this numerous times with Sydiced before, and has still not apologized to him for literally doxing him, and he's literally started leaking my first legal name, as well as posting images of me too in private spaces. It is also extremely sinister that he doesn't even disclose to Sydiced on how he specifically obtained all of MiniBloxia's personal information, with him stating in reply to Sydiced that he doesn't even wish to disclose the methods he used to find the information. In DMs with Sydiced too, Gwamgo had made a thinly veiled threat stating he could log into MiniBloxia's Wi-Fi at any time, which would be him threatening to commit a crime of unauthorized use of a computer, under the definition of knowingly accessing a computer network without sufficient authorization. If that isn't enough proof already, showing how immoral Gwamgo's mentality is as a whole.
Yes! Sim Builder's fighting the cops. Sim Builder's fighting the police. Sim Builder's fighting the police.
I would not be surprised if Parlo made that alt account. I think Parlo made that alt account. I'm not even kidding. No, I'm not trolling. Parlo, it's all his fault.
Now fast forward to the latter stages of 2023, 9 months after the initial drama with MiniBloxia and Gwamgo, and the whole RDC fiasco had just happened, where someone had made a shooting threat on the RDC venue, with MiniBloxia falsely accusing me of running the Vindict account which made this threat. Now in response to this, I had made a video basically calling him out for claiming I made terroristic threats on a multi-billion-dollar company with no evidence behind his claims whatsoever. MiniBloxia then made a response on the 15th of September to my video, yet again lying about the situation and being extremely disingenuous. And then a day later on the 16th, Gwamgo proceeds to release a video of his own covering the very serious allegations surrounding MiniBloxia, released by his ex called Opradea in August the 12th. The video detailed the alleged abuse that he had done to Opradea, which involved alleged S3-actual coercion being a form of rape, as well as MiniBloxia's alleged solicitation of CP, along with his moderator called Harp. And Gwamgo's video on this situation came out days before my response video to MiniBloxia's video, ending his lies entirely. Now the problem with Gwamgo's video is that he entirely aired out Opradea's alleged situation publicly, despite the fact she had expressly told him not to do it, therefore completely violating her privacy and going against her initial requests, and essentially made her trauma completely public and profited off of it, which is extremely insensitive and gross, and shows absolutely no respect for her whatsoever. I also apologize too on my behalf, as I never made a video on the subject, but I apologize for somewhat being associated with all of this too. However, what Gwamgo did in this situation is pretty disgusting by essentially weaponizing serious allegations like this against the victim's request just to screw over someone merely because you have a months-long vendetta against them, and Gwamgo has yet to take any accountability for this whatsoever. It's even more disturbing as he originally intended to put the word pissed slammed over MiniBloxia's face in his thumbnail, despite the entire situation just being allegations, with me dissuading him from doing this in private, and later Gwamgo revised the thumbnail down to calling him an abuser. Not an alleged abuser, but flat out calling him an abuser in the thumbnail, as well as presenting Tatwater to be a predator in the thumbnail as well, which is odd as his disclaimer for that video states that the video is not made to accuse anyone of any wrongdoing, which is obviously a complete and utter lie, just made to deflect any possible legal action coming his way potentially. But now we get to the even more serious situation, as on September the 22nd, 2023, Gwamgo contacts me in DMs claiming he has really bad information on MiniBloxia that he wants to show and eventually stream. Keep in mind, he admits in his response post to this situation that on September the 19th, 3 days prior, he had received the uncensored screenshots from someone called Desired, who would later be revealed to have had numerous inappropriate interactions with minors considerably younger than himself. Now, after I've asked to see this quote-unquote really bad information, with Gwamgo being specifically vague about it, not knowing what he would post, Gwamgo proceeds to drop numerous messages and screenshots pertaining to MiniBloxia and his admin called Harp, and two of these screenshots being entirely uncensored, unsolicited, lewd and sexualized images of a 15-year-old with sexual writing on her thighs and having tight revealing pants on, which was extremely gross to see, and meaning Gwamgo had now distributed what he claimed in his own words was a lewd and indecent image of a minor. After Gwamgo had posted this in my DMs, and keep in mind he did this completely intentionally too, I was extremely shocked, and I was planning on confronting him after the stream he was going to make, talking about this specific situation, because he quite literally had posted inappropriate images of a minor, uncensored in my DMs, which is classified as a Class C indecent image of a minor and is illegal under UK law. While also looking at the US federal law on the classification of what is legally classed as CP, one such category of the conduct, called lascivious exhibition of the genitals and pubic area, shows parallels to the images in which Gwamgo had posted to me in private DMs and shown on stream, with the evaluation factors to determine if the image did indeed fall into this category being, with the genital area of the person being the focal point of the image, in which it was. Also, it states the setting of the image being S3-actually suggestive, in which it was, also considering the S3-actual writing on the girl's thigh. They also state whether the minor had inappropriate attire on, which this minor did, as she was literally only wearing tight pants. It also continues by stating if the child was partially clothed, in which she was. She didn't necessarily need to be naked for it to be classified as CP. It also states if the image was purposely taken for S3 actual intent, in which it was, as Harp was soliciting these images off of other teens for his own sick desires. So for Gwamgo's sake, if this ever became a legal issue, the jury would most likely consider these factors altogether and come to the unanimous conclusion that under the federal law, what he posted in my DMs and eventually showed on stream was in fact CP under the category of lascivious exhibition of the genital area. And as stated here as well, an image does not need to involve all 6 factors in order to qualify as a lascivious exhibition. But anyway, back to the video. I didn't want to disturb his efforts, however, in calling out the solicitors of these images being MiniBloxia and Harp. However, what he had posted in my DMs was unacceptable, and I was going to confront him after in private about it, because I had no idea why he believed posting those images without censoring them in private to me was a good idea. Gwamgo later also admits that I didn't know what I was asking for either, further proving that I did not request for the specific images. Now, Gwamgo had created an evidence server, which is where he systematically posted the images himself in, and invited me to join, so when the stream took place, he could go over the screenshots categorically himself. I had obviously told him to censor the screenshots as they were not censored in my DMs, and if he were to stream this, he would have to make sure he did not expose anyone else to these disgusting images. However, he tries to claim that he was on a quote-unquote time crunch and rushed to censor everything when there were only 3 instances that needed censoring, and that would have taken no time at all as he had plenty of time to do this. Now, as the stream started, he asked me if the first screenshot was censored enough. Keep in mind, I did not censor the screenshots, he did that all himself, and it should have been his job to ensure that he censored it sufficiently. And although the first screenshot he showed was censored, the censoring was pretty minimal. I stated that the screenshot was censored, but he decided to show it before I told him.
The Bunda thing was April 23rd, the other one was June 29. So, right, let's get right into the bad stuff.
Oh, we just went straight into that one.
Wait, Parlo, is that censored? I don't remember what I put in here. Please tell me it's censored. Can you check? It is?
Wait, the image you just showed.
Yeah, it's censored. Yeah, it's okay, thank God.
One under it. Yeah,
okay, yeah, it's censored. Okay, we're good. Okay, so we're getting straight into the bad stuff. So this was a message that Harp sent to one of the victims. I guess we're not doing that whole color coding the victims, I guess, but whatever.
Now, Gwamgo to this day attempts to pin partial blame on me for claiming all the images were censored in the evidence server, which is pathetic and unsubstantiated, as it is entirely his responsibility, as he had the original uncensored images in his clipboard, which he received from Desired, and he is old enough to take accountability for his own actions. Me not being aware of what he was about to show on stream, or what he had knowingly or unknowingly posted in the evidence channels, was proof enough that I did not check his evidence channels, and that was once again entirely his responsibility to do himself. Theoretically, if I had actually seen the uncensored image being posted in the evidence channel, yet told him all the images were censored, that would have meant I deliberately lied to him to then get him to show it on stream in front of countless people, in which was obviously not the case. I was merely invited to feature on his stream, as the stream title suggests that I was obviously a feature, to basically cover the allegations with him while he takes the lead with the entire situation.
This was a message that Harp sent to V, another one of the victims of Harp. So, it gets bad. Parlo,
are we gonna read that?
Parlo, you explain this.
Wait.
I need to go check the other screenshots to see if it's censored.
Okay, so it's an image of the 15-year-old's thighs and their panties there, and it has an arrow going to that saying Michael's property, which is the name of Harp. And it says, I've been a good something for Michael, Loveheart.
Now, in the next clip, Gwamgo himself tells me to continue speaking on his stream while he goes on to check in private if the other images are censored, meaning his entire point of being wholly reliant on me to tell him if the images were censored was completely untrue, as he stated in his own words in his own stream that it was his own job to do.
Thing that's shown on screen right now. I want you guys to take a quick note that MiniBloxia was notified of these actions, and even then, like Parlo said earlier, all Mini said to this, or congratulated, what's his name? Harp? Mini just congratulated Harp. That's it. He showed no action, and I could actually prove to you right now. Who's this? I could prove to you guys right now that Harp, discord.gg/miniclan, Harp is a moderator to this very moment.
Now, after I was done explaining the situation on stream and the images that MiniBloxia's mod had solicited, Gwamgo comes back to then scroll down to the next image very abruptly without even asking me anything, in which shows the indecent image of the minor completely uncensored. And keep in mind, I had no idea that this was present in the evidence channel, and you can even hear in the archived video that I audibly gasped.
I could prove to you guys right now that Harp,
and people who witnessed the stream firsthand, such as Roblox YouTuber Shinzu, can attest that I literally gasped in the stream. Now, how Gwamgo didn't notice that this image was uncensored is beyond me, and he literally claims that the image wasn't entirely visible until you opened it up while he was gathering evidence. However, as via his stream recording, that is obviously not the case, and it was pretty visible to anyone with working eyes. Considering Gwamgo as well had shown this on stream, he has now directly exposed all 385 viewers to that disgusting image, and essentially made an indecent image of a minor completely public, with countless other minors now seeing this, as the majority of the viewers of this stream were obviously under the age of 18. Now, after this situation happened, I had privately messaged Gwamgo telling him that he showed the image uncensored, but I did this all in lower cases as not to startle him or put stress on him. Gwamgo had stream difficulties with his stream crashing, in which he came back, muted his stream mic, and consulted me about this situation, in which by his own admission I told him to end the stream and to remove it immediately, in which is what he did. Now, following this situation, I had left the evidence server, and people such as XD Gamer archived the stream and then started to call Gwamgo out, with Gwamgo asking me how badly he screwed up in my private DMs. Obviously, understanding what he did was pretty bad, and how he just completely fumbled serious allegations regarding MiniBloxia, essentially allowing him to completely get away with it. I had also told Gwamgo to remove the gross uncensored images that he had posted in my DMs, as I had completely forgot that he even sent them because the stream situation had now completely clouded my mind. I told him to delete the images numerous times before he actually removed them, and I had told him right after that this was not looking good for him whatsoever. The MiniBloxia situation as well wasn't the only time that Gwamgo had been proven that he cannot handle career-damaging accusations due to his gross negligence, as there has been numerous other cases, for example, where he has evidently slandered other creators such as Sydiced, where Gwamgo accused Sydiced of being a predator over joke messages that he made to someone who was 13 when he himself was 15. Gwamgo claimed Sydiced was 16 to 17 years of age, making the comments to an 11 to 13-year-old to deliberately stretch the age gap wider to make Sydiced look in this situation predatory, which was extremely malicious and immoral. Gwamgo also claimed that a creator named Banana Roblox posted cheese pizza of someone who in actuality was 22 years old, so it was not cheese pizza.
His thought process resulted in him doing the dumbest thing of his life: distribution of CP. On November 13th, Banana Roblox sent a kid named Extreme Blocks, the very same 12-year-old kid he accused of being a pedo, a picture of another YouTuber's body part. Although the image isn't graphic in detail, a portion of the YouTuber's private part is visible in the image. To make matters worse, Banana Roblox also spammed this in the kid's DMs.
With Gwamgo even making a pinned comment about this situation, trying to quote-unquote clear it up, which barely anyone even noticed, with Gwamgo refusing to take out the part of the video which literally has this defamatory and false information still in it. All these situations sufficiently establishes how Gwamgo cannot be trusted to handle these types of allegations ever again, as he continues to fumble these situations and lie for his own personal benefit. After the fallout of the situation too, I informed Gwamgo that the uncensored images he had posted to me could be cached on his computer's hard drive, as Discord is known to cache images. Gwamgo proceeds to state to me that it's not possible that it's cached on my hard drive, as a few hours after that stream I had completely reset my computer. The earliest file on my PC is from September the 24th, 2 days after that whole situation. This meant that Gwamgo essentially wiped his hard drive clean, meaning that he knew entirely that he messed up, so I have no idea why he is now currently proceeding to play down the situation. In numerous chat messages he can be seen admitting that the image was a lewd picture of a minor and indecent, but he tries to use wordplay semantics to deny the claims of it being CP. However, if he didn't believe the image was necessarily CP or inherently illegal, why did he proceed to then wipe his entire hard drive and files clean? And I also want to make this clear that in the past I did empathize with Gwamgo's position. However, the fact that he attempts to now throw me under the bus and insinuate that I have any culpability in this situation over his own actions is completely ridiculous. And after I had processed the entire situation, I can now see how manipulative he has been, especially regarding other situations involving Sydiced, for example, and now I have completely changed my perspective regarding all of this. Another massive problem with Gwamgo is that he was attempting to remain silent about the entire situation, essentially waiting for it to blow over. He had only decided to respond almost 2 months later after I had consistently told him to make a post taking accountability for it. The only person in actuality who was even speaking about this entire situation was me to numerous other YouTubers. Gwamgo quite literally did nothing to address his own situation until many weeks later, in which I find to also be extremely disingenuous, with him only taking quote-unquote accountability when he started getting justifiably criticized for his own actions and gross negligence. He also made a post in October a month earlier stating, "I realized that exposing people is not aligned with my values." However, now by him attempting to defend that board gamer's degenerate actions, actions, and attempting to release a video allegedly maliciously weaponizing my mental health against me, it seems he has violated his own statements and has gone straight back to creating drama content and exposed content in which is extremely immature to see. Now hopefully after everyone has seen this video, you can now all be made aware about how terrible Gwamgo is with dealing with serious situations and his extremely immoral tendencies in nature. I ask you all to make sure to leave a like and subscribe so as many people as possible can be notified regarding this entire situation as a whole, and I advise you all to watch my previous video too, calling out Gwamgo and Yaro for their actions. I also have to preface this too that this video is not intended for cyberbullying, hate or harassment, and I obviously do not support MiniBloxia in the slightest at all. But thank you all for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.